Today we'll be discussing the reliability of the New Testament's account of Jesus' life. We'll also be having guest speakers, Oscar, a Christian, and Wyatt, someone who opposes the reliability of the New Testament. What are some of the reasons you believe in Jesus as a result of the New Testament?
So some of the reasons I believe in Jesus as a result of the New Testament is that it was written by 4 different people who talked about Jesus' life, death and resurrection, and those people were Mark, Matthew, Luke and John. And also the New Testament doesn't make many outrageous claims and a lot of it is reasonable.
Due to the Bible and the New Testament's age, and the fact it was not written in English originally, is it still reliable?
I still believe that the New Testament is reliable despite it being copied over 2,000 years because of modern technology assisting in translation, even from things as simple as apps and Google Translate. Also, an expert, John Dixon, who is an author, believes that the New Testament is still as reliable as it used to be all those years ago.
Is there any physical evidence that supports your belief?
Physical evidence that supports my belief in the New Testament is that there are many archaeological discoveries such as the Pool of Bethesda, the pavement and Jacob's Well, which are all mentioned in the book of John. And of course the New Testament, with all the books it contains, is physical evidence itself. More physical evidence that supports my belief in the New Testament is that there are extra parts of the Bible discovered, including new parts of the New Testament.
How can you tell that the writers of the New Testament weren't exaggerating?
I believe that the writers of the New Testament weren't exaggerating, as they intended it to be interpreted in a literary sense instead of literally, which is word for word. And many people recounted Jesus' life firsthand, which makes it very difficult to lie or exaggerate, as they can't make up the same thing.
Do you believe that the claims made by the Bible are true? I believe that the claims made by the Bible are true in a sense that people want to believe what they believe, and they have a right to believe that. So in their minds, it's allowed to be true. Personally, I don't believe in it myself, but I believe in it if everybody else does. For example, if nobody worships a god, then that God doesn't exist. Do you believe that the writings of the Bible were affected by the writer's faith? Personally, I do believe that the writings of the Bible would have been affected by the faith of the writers, as if you were writing something in history, you would always write it the way that you want to see it. For example, countries that win wars always write the story of the war from their point of view. However, there is much evidence that says that this is not true and that the writers of the Bible were not affected by the writings of the Bible were not affected by faith, as there's consistent copies of the past writings all around the world thousands of times. Why do you think the writers of the New Testament were exaggerating? I believe the writers of the New Testament were exaggerating, as there is no factual evidence, however, recounts of people who likely saw the faith of Christianity and want the world to believe what they believe. I also find it suspicious that it happened in a day and age where there's no way to record or tape anything that happened as evidence. I also find it hard to believe all the amazing things that happened and how this happens back then and doesn't seem to show itself to anybody now.
Does anyone know how to use Dropbox? Oh, sorry.